Hello! What we're doing today is I am opening Champions up for the first time since Regulation M-B started. I'm going into this mostly blind, and this video is basically just me reacting to whatever changes have come with the new regulation. Season M-3. Event period from June 16th to July 7th. That's short. Pokemon, okay, so eligible mechanics, Mega Evolution, number of Pokemon able to battle, yeah, okay. Eligible Pokemon. Okay, Kanto starters are back. Yeah, I don't think Arbok is new. I've gone through the Gen 1 section and I'm not seeing anything new. There they are. My boys. They're back. Quillfish might be new, I don't know. Who was running Quillfish? Ooh, Quillfish. But Sceptile, Blaziken, and Swampert, all very exciting. Presumably their Megas are back. It was really weird having them missing specifically. All of the starters were back, except for Gen 3 starters and Gen 8 starters. And I get it, these have Megas, some of which are pretty good. Looking at these two, I'm excited to see them back. Let's see. Metagross! Okay, I have a friend who is going to be very happy that Metagross is back. Absol, still don't know if its Z-Mega is in. Was Staraptor eligible last season? I'm not sure. Scolipede's new, right? And presumably it's Mega. Musharna, I think that's new too, but also it's Musharna, so it may have been eligible, and I just didn't know. I think Scrafty is new, which it has a new Mega, so that's exciting. It looks like it's a lot of the Legends ZA Megas, which is exciting, because there's a lot of cool Megas in there. Eelektross. I don't think Pyroar was eligible, and that means its Mega's probably in now, and Mega Pyroar is probably the worst designed Mega of all time, so woohoo! Probably get Mega Dragalge and Mega Barbaracle. Mega Malamar, probably. Malamar has Contrary, so that could be some, enable some fun stuff. From what I'm seeing, it looks like they didn't disqualify any Pokemon. It looks like they just added. Oh, Falinks, cool. I'm hoping Mega Falinks is a good Mega. I really like its design. I think it's a lot of fun. Okay, Quillfish is legal, so Overquill is legal. That makes sense. Sorry, Sneasler is still legal. I'm sure a lot of people were hoping it wasn't. Oh no. Oh no, not Houndstone. Oh boy. Oh wait, we're only using 4 Pokemon. Houndstone is not nearly as insane as I'm thinking it is, but still, oh no. And then yeah, Gimmighoul. Or, not Gimmighoul. Gholdengo. Yeah, Gholdengo, if that thumbnail that I saw on YouTube was right and it got nerfed somehow, I will happily accept that. And let's go to the shop and see if there's any items. I'm guessing the new items are limited to Megastones, maybe a handful of held items, but like, obviously, you added in a lot of Pokemon that had Megas introduced in CA. Presumably their Megastones are here now too. Oh, you can get Canary's outfit. That's fun. Okay, well yeah, there was Mega Metagross and Mega Eelektross in that picture, so there's that. Muscle Band, I don't think that was in... Yep, Life Orb's here. Alright. Yeah, Life Orb... Not having Life Orb has felt really weird. Yeah, but yeah, Muscle Band, Wise Glasses, Extra Belt. Those all make sense. Metronome, Big Root, Light Clay, and the Heat Rock, Icy Rock, Smooth Rock, Damp Rock. Wide Lens, let's go. I've been wanting Wide Lens so badly. Although now with all these new items, I might not want it anymore. Zoom Lens, yeah. Iron Ball. I'm a little surprised that Iron Ball is being added because that's kind of a more advanced item. Shed Shell, okay. Might be good with the prevalence of Parastrap. And then all the type improvement items. Don't really need to go through those. Those aren't new. Shell Bell, Status Berries, super effective type reduction berries, Light Ball. Okay. So they didn't add a ton. It's just, what, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13, 14. It's just 15 items, and, like, 4 of those are the same item, just for different weathers. I think all of these items have existed for several generations at least. Like, they're not getting into the crazy complicated stuff that was added in, like, Gen 9. Yeah, I think I can work with this. Let's look at the Megastones. The Raichu Knights, Sceptile, Blaziken Knight, Swamperite, Mawile. Oh, I missed Mawile. Mawile's back. Nice. Okay. Metagrossite. Oh yeah, Staraptor has a Mega. Duh. I used it in the DLC. Scolipede, Scrafty, Eelektrossite. Oh, sick. Okay, you can buy the Kalos starter Megastones now. Does that mean you can buy a Floettite? I don't think so. It looks like you're still locked out of Floette, which I'm not happy about. Chestnutite being there tells me that it... Like, the others are probably... yeah, they're right there, actually. Delphoxite, Greninjite. The game is much more accessible now, it looks like, which is great with the mobile release. The fact that Floetite is still locked out. Everything else they did was great, don't get me wrong, but like, it's kind of an all or nothing. Any new clothing? Doesn't look like there's anything new cosmetics-wise. Isn't it beautiful? I've missed these three. And Blaziken. I'm gonna take Blaziken just because Blaziken, at least on Switch era, can be a little hard to get your hands on. I think that Swampert is probably going to be the new Mega to watch. Rain teams are already pretty good, hampered quite a bit by Charizard. Having another Mega that can kind of counter Charizard in the form of Swampert, at the very least, it's going to force Charizard to run Solar Beam more, and I know a lot of people don't like running Solar Beam on Charizard, because you get caught out of your sun with it sometimes, and Charizard is just kind of a sitting duck for a turn. I mean, Swampert's main competition is going to be Basque. I'm interested to see how they compete. I mean, they're relatively similar in terms of power level, I think. Alright, so here we have Bulbapedia, Swampert Space Stats. So obviously the first thing to stick out here is that 150 in attack. That is outstanding. For this, I am comparing specifically male Basculegion, because that's the physical attacker. Mega Swampert is a physical attacker, obviously. Like, look at it. HP, Basque is actually a bit tankier on the just raw HP front with 120 to Swampert's 100. Megas don't change HP, so that's going to be the same across base Swampert and Mega Swampert. But where it gets interesting is Mega Swampert's 150 attack stat versus male Basculegion's 112. Like, if you thought that Wave Crash from male Basculegion was hitting hard before, imagine what Mega Swampert's going to be able to do. I don't know if it has access to Wave Crash off the top of my head, but if it does, that is going to hurt. Of course, last respects, I don't see Swampert getting that. Even if it did, it would not be Stab. But it's also a ground type, so it can be running Earthquake or some other ground type move if you want a single target. And I mean, between water and ground, like, there's not a whole lot that you're not going to hit well with that. I mean, things like Pelipper, like any sort of flying type that resists water is going to be fine-ish. I mean, it's 150 base attack. What do you want? There is no totally fine. So like, they've been somewhat comparable up until this point, but Mega Swampert is just going to hit harder. Water Ground is one of the best typings in the game. Water Ghost it's alright. Like, Water Anything is generally going to be pretty good. But, like, Water Ground only has a single weakness. It's to Grass. Grass is not the greatest defensive typing ever. There are some really good defensive Pokemon that are grass types, like look at Venusaur, for example. I think Swampert is going to do great in this format, especially as we go on with this comparison to Basculegion, and we look at the defense stats. It's 110 in both defense stats for Mega Swampert, versus 65 and 75 for Basculegion. So, like, yes, it does have higher HP, but those defense stats don't go nearly as far to preserve that HP. So, defensively, Mega Swampert looks like it's going to be a much better Pokemon. And then special attack, not that either of them particularly cares, but Mega Swampert also wins that with its base 95 to Basculegion's base 80. And critically, Basculegion is faster by 8 points. Neither of these are in a great speed tier though on their own. 70, 78 speed, that is simultaneously too fast for Trick Room but too slow for not Trick Room. But the critical difference that sets these two Pokemon apart from other Pokemon in that speed tier is that they both have access to Swift Swim, which completely changes the narrative here. Mega Swampert, once it's Mega Evolved, that's the only option it has. So yeah, Basculegion, you have a little bit more flexibility because you could go for Mold Breaker or Adaptability, but I can see an argument for Adaptability, but in the current format, I don't think there's any Water Absorb Pokemon or Storm Drain or anything like that, so I don't know why you would go for Mold Breaker. Swift Swim Basculegion might become more common to try and compete with Swampert, but it was already pretty common. I think that Swampert will be a really strong tool for certain teams. I think that Basculegion will have just enough versatility that Swampert doesn't, to where they can compete with each other and coexist in the metagame, rather than one completely pushing the other out. If I had to guess as to which one will probably be used more, I think in lower levels of play you're going to see more Mega Swampert, and at higher levels of play, like Worlds should be using this format if I understand correctly. I think you'll end up still seeing more Basculegion just because of that added flexibility. But again, I think both are going to have their place, regardless of the level of play we're talking about. I'm excited to see Mega Swampert alongside the other Mega Hoenn starters. I'm not going to go into them quite the same because they're not as interesting. I think that Mega Blaziken with its speed boost ability, especially in singles, it will always have a place. I don't know how good it will be in doubles. I don't think it really has any real history in doubles. I could be wrong about that. I wasn't following doubles very closely when it was legal. I think that the doubles metagame, it's harder for me to predict doubles because I just don't have the experience with it. Going through the eligible list again, I think that we're going to see a lot of Raichu, especially early on, because it's been hyped up. But if you've been watching my Pokemon streams, like, you know I love using Raichu competitively with its Lightning Rod ability. It's only getting better. Mega Raichu X looks like it's basically kind of a mini electric Incineroar, and Mega Raichu Y just looks like it's going to be an insane special attacker. The primary Pokemon I think this is going to be competing for niche space with is Archaludon. Archaludon has its drawbacks, especially if you're using it as an electric type, because your options are use Thunderbolt, which isn't stab, or use pseudo stab Electroshock, which boosts your electric or your special attack. But then you are stuck in that for 2 turns if you're not in rain, like Solar Beam would be in Sun. I've used it on my rain team for the last 2 seasons to great effect. I think Archaludon is awesome. I think that anybody who's really been playing Champions would tell you the same thing. Well, actually, a lot of people would tell you that they hate it, but not because they've been using it, but because they've been getting crushed by it. Archaludon has really been one of the Pokemon to beat these last 2 seasons in the last regulation. So seeing it get some competition should be good for the game. I was doing some battling in the last hour or 2 of the last season, and I ran into 3 different Mega Ampharos, which, as somebody who relies on Lightning Rod Raichu to redirect electric moves away from my water types, was very scary. I haven't seen too many people doing Raichu shenanigans like that, so I was a little surprised to see the Mold Breaker Mega Ampharos see play. I'm curious to see if Ampharos continues to see some usage going into this new season. I'm not really expecting anything from Quillfish. I think Quillfish is kind of here as a technicality because Overquill is here. Mega Mawile, I mean, back the last time that Megas were relevant, Mega Mawile was one of the few Megas you'd actually see alongside Mega Charizard Y and Mega Kangaskhan. Mega Kangaskhan has been nerfed since then. I don't know if Mega Mawile being nerfed. It might have, for all I know. Oh, I suppose we have the new abilities now. Let me pull that up on another page. Alright, so we have Mega Raichu X with Electric Surge. We knew that was going to happen. Mega Raichu Y with No Guard. Again, we knew that was going to happen. Those 2 are going to be interesting to see. I really do think Mega Raichu Y is going to outcompete Base Raichu and Mega Raichu X. But I think both Base Raichu and Mega X are going to have their place. Contrary Mega Staraptor, that... Oh. Okay. I love that Mega Staraptor is playing into the image I always had of Staraptor as a kid. It is now a flying fighting type. It can use close combat and actually becomes tankier because of it. That's awesome. Mega Scolipede having shell armor? Let's see, how do I feel about that? I mean, not being able to take crits is, it's just fundamentally a good thing. We'll have to see. Honestly, I'm not really sure. Mega Scrafty gaining Intimidate. Didn't Base Scrafty already have Intimidate as an option? Yeah, so, yeah, you can Intimidate when you come in, then you can Intimidate when you Mega Evolve. You're going for kind of Mega Incineroar ideas in terms of strategy. Between having Incineroar and Sneasler, I think Mega Scrafty is going to have a lot of really steep competition. Sneasler, obviously it doesn't have Intimidate, but it's got the Fake Out shenanigans to work with. Incineroar, it's got Fake Out, it's got Parting Shot, it's got Flare Blitz and Darkest Lariat or Throat Chop, your preference. I don't know if I said it, but it has Intimidate. It's got everything going for it. There's a reason that Incineroar is so widely considered to be the best competitive Pokemon of all time, at least in doubles. Mega Scrafty, it's a Mega. You have to use your Mega slot for this thing. I don't think it's going to be worth it. I don't think we're going to see a lot of usage. I think there might be teams that get built around Mega Scrafty that do kind of well, but those are going to be teams that were built with the idea of, I want to use Mega Scrafty, not teams that were built with the idea of, I want to do well. Mega Eelektross retains Elevate. Wait. Elevate, not Levitate. Elevate. Okay, that looks like it's a new ability. Hold on. Elevate, Japanese Eel Climb, is an ability introduced during Gen 9 in Pokémon Champions. It is the signature ability of Mega Eelektross. The Pokémon floats off the ground, making it immune to ground-type moves as well as spikes, toxic spikes, and sticky web statuses. When the Pokémon knocks out a target with an attack, its highest stat is boosted by 1 stage. Oh! Okay. So it's Levitate plus Beast Boost. That... Oh. I might need to make a Mega Eelektross team. I think Mega Eelektross is just going to be everywhere. I think I'm going to need to build a new team because, like, I mean, I want to build a new team. It's a new regulation, but I was running a rain team, and there's a lot of really cool, scary new electric types running around now. I need to look this up, but I think that No Guard can bypass Raichu's Lightning Rod. I'm already worried about Mega Raichu. Why? But yeah, this... I've always really liked Eelektross, and this looks like it is a Pokemon that doesn't have any weaknesses that's actually going to be good. Mega Eelektross, if I pull up its base stats real quick, I mean, we're looking at 85 HP, not great, but 145 attack, 80 defense, 135 special attack, 90 special defense, and 80 speed. We're looking at a Pokemon that's probably going to be able to be run as a mixed attacker or on either side. I'll have to look closer at its moves, but because its ability works on whatever its highest stat is, you just build it for whichever attack stat you want, and boom, you have that. The base 80 speed compared to those attack stats means that you're not really going to be building it to get a speed boost, but like, that's alright. It is unfortunately the kind of Pokemon that is like base 80 speed. Trick Room doesn't really quite help you, but like, you're also not great out of Trick Room either. I think that's going to kind of be the saving grace around balancing this Pokemon. We'll have to see what moves it has, because Bulbapedia doesn't have the moves updated yet. Mega Pyroar gets the new Fire Main ability. Let's see what that does. Fire Main is an ability introduced during Gen 9 in Pokémon Champions that is the signature ability of Mega Pyroar. Boosts the power of the Pokemon's Fire-type moves by 50%. Okay, I mean, that's straightforward. Mega Pyroar, I've just pulled up its stats because I wasn't really sure what they were. It's 86 in HP, 88 in attack, 92 defense, 129 special attack, 86 special defense, and 126 speed. This is the kind of Pokemon that's going to be really good in singles. It's going to struggle, I think, in doubles because, I mean, it's a fast attack, like relatively frail attacker. There are other fire types that are just going to be better for that role, Mega Delphox, for example. But that boost to the fire type moves, like, I think it might have a niche. We'll just have to see. Okay, good. Mega Malamar retains Contrary. Mega Barbaracle gets Tough Claws. Okay. So, Mega Barbaracle, if you don't remember or didn't know, loses its water typing upon Mega Evolution. It becomes a rock fighting type. Let me pull up Mega Barbaracle stats. I'm pretty sure it's a physical attacker. It looks like a physical attacker, but I don't know off the top of my head. Oh, yeah, this thing is absolutely a physical attacker. 72 HP, 140 attack, 130 defense, 64 special attack, 106 special defense, 88 speed. Again, like, it's in that, like, 70 to like 80s speed tier, which is just really awkward. This thing's going to hit hard. It is relatively tanky with those defense stats. Yeah, this will be workable. I think this is going to be another Mega that you don't see every day, but it's there. Tough Claws helps a lot with that power. Mega Dragalge has Regenerator. Okay, Regenerator is new for Dragalge. I've never really looked too far into Dragalge. I think it's a really cool Pokemon. Poison Dragon's a cool typing. It could have in base form Poison Point, Poison Touch, or Adaptability. Upon Mega Evolving, it gets Regenerator. I'm guessing that means that its stats get much more tanky when it megas, but we'll have to see. Obviously, if we're looking at its stats being tanky, Mega Evolution doesn't affect HP at all. It has base 65 HP, which is not great. In Mega Form, it has 85 in attack, which is plus 10 from base. Defense is 105, which is a plus 15 from defense, or from base. That's an improvement. Special attack, this is definitely a special attacker. Goes from 97 to 132 in special attack. That's a 35-point increase. Okay. And then special attack is a huge 40-point increase from 123 to 163, and speed remains unaffected. Yeah, this is a Trick Room Mega with 44 speed. It's not the slowest thing I've ever seen, but this thing looks like it'll be able to tank hits as you're setting up your Trick Room, and then just start dishing out incredibly powerful special attacks. And then, oh hey, my Mega Dragalge took some damage. I know, I'll switch it out. Regenerator procs. And that's plus, what, 1/3 HP healing? Yeah, Regenerator restores 33% of the Pokemon's maximum HP upon switching out. I think that Mega Dragalge is going to be an interesting Pokemon to try and play around if you wanted to play a bit more tanky. And a lot of the Megas that we have right now are not built for being tanky. I mean, yeah, we have like Mega Slowbro and Mega Tyranitar, but we'll have to see how that plays out. As far as I can tell, the last new Mega that has an ability that we have learned is Mega Falinks with Defiant. So Defiant powers your, I believe it's physical attack stat up when you get hit by a dark dark move. There's some interesting shenanigans you can get up to with the move Beat Up, where you hit your own Pokemon with a dark type move 4 times and really power up its physical attack stat. Mega Falinks, obviously you're going to be able to see this. Falinks also has no retreat, which is a fairly interesting setup move where it basically traps itself into battle, powers way up. So you get an Omni boost, which means you get +1 to each stat: attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. But then you're trapped and you can't switch out that Pokemon. I think that Mega Falinks is going to have a place. I think it's going to be kind of a niche tech Pokemon, not something you see very often. We'll have to see. I mean, looking at these stats, I don't want to deal with that Pokemon with an Omni Boost. I don't care if it's set up. I think moves like Encore or Disable, Imprison, stuff like that, I think that's going to be very useful in dealing with this, but I think it's going to be the kind of Pokemon that you don't see very often, and when you do see it, it's there to kind of catch you off guard, and you either have the tools to deal with it or you don't. This would be terrifying next to Flamigo. Just copy the stat boost. Before I wrap up, I do want to go back to looking at the items. Muscle Band and Wise Glasses. In the absence of Choice Band and Choice Specs, I think that these might see some use, but not a ton. Expert Belt, like, I think these are items that new players are going to latch onto much more than experienced players. But also, I don't think we've ever really seen a case where we had Muscle Band and Wise Glasses, but not the choice equivalents. Life Orb, I mean, Life Orb is fantastic. Life Orb, I think, is going to single-handedly push some Megas out of the game because their base form holding a Life Orb is better than their Mega Evolved counterpart. I think we see that with Tyranitar a lot. Definitely can see that with Garchomp. Metronome! Metronome is another item that I kind of expect to see mostly from inexperienced players. But, like, I could see some, like, niche strategies that take advantage of it. Maybe a round team would make good use of it. Big Root! I mean, Big Root is fairly niche. It works on very specific Pokemon that are already doing absorb moves. There's not too many of them in the game right now, but we'll have to see. Light Clay, Sableye is going to love this. Alolan Ninetales, I could see running this and seeing an increase in usage. Screens, as we've seen in the last 2 seasons, very powerful, and Light Clay just makes them even more powerful because they're harder to stall out. Each of these rocks, the Heat Rock, Icy Rock, Smooth Rock, and Damp Rock, corresponds to a weather condition: sun, snow, sandstorm, and rain, and they just increase the duration by 3 turns. Obviously, your Pelipper's, your Tyranitars, your Torkoals, your Ninetales, both variety, they're going to love these. Your Mega Weather Setters aren't going to be able to use these, though, because they're held items. I think what we're going to end up seeing is kind of a combination of, yes, these are relevant, and they power up the non-Mega Weather Setters even further, but because so many of the Mega Weather Setters are so strong already, I don't think these are going to be as prevalent as people might expect. Wide Lens. So Wide Lens is a weird item, boosting accuracy of moves by 10%. That can be very tempting if you're already running a move that is almost perfectly accurate, but not quite. Or if you're running like something that is not very accurate, like Sleep Powder or something. But oftentimes you are going to just have better options for items. So yeah, I'm not quite sure how often we're going to see Wide Lens. Again, I think it's going to be one of those items that you see more from inexperienced players that are just trying to innovate and find new things. And I think a lot of more experienced players are going to go, I've seen Wide Lens before, it's not that great. Traditionally in VGC, the only Pokemon I know of that really runs it is Heatran. That's really only because Heatran doesn't really need much in the way of item support. And if and when we see Heatran come back, which it's Heatran, we're going to see Heatran come back, it's got a Mega now. So it's probably just going to hold its Mega Stone. Zoom Lens boosts the accuracy of the holder's moves by 20% when the holder acts after the targets. Again, like, this feels like Wide Lens, but even more niche, and I don't see Zoom Lens getting a ton of use, frankly. Iron Ball is a very interesting item. If you have a Pokemon that's a little fast, but otherwise would fit perfectly in your Trick Room team, you give it an Iron Ball, and then it's slow, because it'll have your speed stat. It's also, if you wanted to run something that had Levitate or is a flying type, but then you wanted to run Side Spam off of it, this will enable it because it grounds the holder. You can also use Trick or Switcheroo to give this to, say, an opposing flying type. Let's say your opponent has a Talonflame, and you've got a Garchomp on the field and a Rotom. You trick the Iron Ball onto the opposing Talonflame, and then you Earthquake with Garchomp. Now your Rotom's Levitate's kicked in again, but the Talonflame's flying type won't protect it from the Earthquake, and it takes super effective damage. Shed Shell is a very welcome item. I believe it is new. I don't think it was in the item, game last season. This is effectively an anti-Perish Trap item. It basically lets you switch out when you wouldn't otherwise be able to. I don't really see it getting a ton of use because like Parastrap is a threat, but it's not everywhere, and there's probably better items for you to run. It's fun that it's in the game. It's another thing to keep track of. Overall, I'm very happy with the new selection of items. I would have liked to have seen the other choice items, but I also understand why they're not here. Choice Scarf is relatively easy to wrap your head around, whereas the other choice items, yeah, it's another thing to keep track of. And we do have a ton of new players coming in today with the mobile release. So yeah, I'm excited to see how these impact the game, but I think really the only ones that are going to be super relevant are Life Orb, Light Clay, and the Rocks. Iron Ball will be, but only at higher levels, or with players that just want to troll others. Overall, I'm really excited about this new regulation. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of the new Megas look sick, and I'm really excited about their abilities. There were a lot of Pokemon that got Megas in ZA that people were really worried, oh hey, this Mega looks really good, but oh no, they're going to give it a new ability, and its base ability was really good. But like either A, they just retained their ability, or like in Mega Eelektross' case, they retained their ability and more, effectively gaining a second ability. I'm really excited to see. I think Mega Eelektross right now is my standout. Like I think I'm going to try and build something around Mega Eelektross. I think it looks really fun. That is about it for this video. I have rambled on for about half an hour longer than I meant to. I'm going to have to edit this down. But thank you so much for watching. If you're new here, I'm Josh, otherwise known as Clearing the Backlog. I set out on this YouTube journey to play through all the games in my backlog, games that I'd picked up on Steam sales or whatever over the years and then never actually got around to playing. And I'm doing that, but I'm also having a lot of fun playing games that I'm just kind of passionate about. So that's Pokémon Champions, Mario Maker, and I'm playing a few other things. Like I've played some Peglin a bit here and there, and I have some other plans for the near future. So this video is a little different for me, but I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, maybe consider sticking around, subscribing, maybe giving me a like, and I live stream every Tuesday and Saturday night, both here on YouTube and on Twitch. That's at 8 p.m. Pacific time, and then yeah, I do a long-form video approximately every week, sometimes I miss it, and some shorts. Again, thank you for your time, and you have a wonderful day. God bless.